A text pings at 8 p.m. Watch Sigrid's wedding online. My daughter didn't send it, her brother did. And the sting of exclusion cuts deeper than Montana's November frost. Eldric Vaughn, 58, retired mechanic, stares at the laptop's glow. The swing set photo of Sigrid, age 5, glinting like a broken promise. The wind howls, rattling the farmhouse, whispering a family drama silence over 50. I can't ignore. What do you do when your own flesh and blood shuts you out? Share your story below, and let's unravel this quiet betrayal tale for seniors together. The Montana farmhouse creaks under the weight of a November frost, its windows glinting like shattered dreams in the 8:00 p.m. gloom of Thanksgiving 2025. Inside, the air smells of burnt coffee and old wood, warmed faintly by a crackling stove. A clock ticks above the kitchen table, its hands slicing through the silence. A football game hums low on a battered radio, the announcer's voice a distant murmur of holiday cheer that feels foreign here. Eldric Vaughn, 58, sits hunched in a plaid armchair, his weathered hands hovering over a laptop's glowing screen. The login page for Sigrid's wedding clip taunts him its password field, a gate to a world he's not sure he belongs in. Leora Crane's voice cuts through from the porch, warm but insistent a lifeline he's too stubborn to grab. Eldric Pie's getting cold. She calls her scarf fluttering in the wind. She sees his silhouette through the window, a man carrying ghosts heavier than the snow clouds gathering outside. Eldric doesn't answer. His fingers tremble, poised above the keyboard, the cursor blinking like a heartbeat. The swing set photo on the table catches the laptop's light. Sigrid's 5-year-old smile frozen in time, her pigtails swinging as he pushed her higher. That was before he lost her, before he chose Torrin's dreams over hers. A ping jars him. A text from Torrin Sigrid's wedding clip. Watch it. Eldric's breath catches his chest tight. She didn't text me herself. The words sting sharper than the frost outside. He glances at the photo, its edges worn from years of handling, and mutters, "Why not you, Sigrid?" The radio drones on a touchdown cheer, mocking his solitude. Leora's boots crunch on the porch, her shadow pausing at the door. She knows this ache. Her own son's silence a mirror to Eldric's pain, but she waits, giving him space to break or bend. Eldric's thumb hovers over the phone. Sigrid's auto-reply flashing. Busy with wedding, no warmth, no invitation. His jaw tightens, the ache of being sidelined, cutting deep, a father reduced to a screen's cold glow. The stove pops embers, flaring like his buried hope. He types the password, each keystroke a reluctant step toward her world, but pauses, eyes locked on the photo. What if she doesn't want me there? The question hangs unanswered as the wind howls, rattling the swing set, outside a creak that echoes the years he let slip away. Leora's thought lingers unspoken. She sees his heart splinter, yet it still beats. The cursor blinks, waiting. Will Eldric watch the clip, or let the frost seal him shut? The Montana farmhouse kitchen glows faintly at 8:15 p.m. Thanksgiving, 2025. The wood stove's embers casting a warm haze over peeling wallpaper. The scent of pumpkin pie left by Leora mingles with motor oil from Eldric's hands as he tinkers with a rusted tractor part on the table, his lifeline to keep the crumbling farmhouse afloat. A football game crackles on the radio, the crowds roar, a hollow echo of a holiday he's barely part of. The swing set photo of Sigrid, age 5, sits beside a pile of repair bills, her smile a quiet accusation. Eldric, 58, wipes sweat from his brow. His flannel shirt frayed at the cuffs, each turn of the wrench a fight against time and debt. Leora steps inside her boots, leaving snow dust on the floor, pie tin in hand. Fresh from the ranch potluck down the road, she says, her voice soft but probing, like she's testing the ice beneath him. She sees the weight in Eldric's shoulders, a man who fixed her fence last week, despite his own exhaustion, always giving more than he has. Eldric grunts, avoiding her gaze, his fingers tightening on the tractor part. The radio shifts to a commercial, a cheery ad for a family streaming app that stings like salt in a wound. He polishes the photo's frame, its glass smudged, as if he could scrub away the years he favored Torrin's art over Sigrid's quiet triumphs. Fixed old man Carter's tractor today, Eldric mutters more to himself than Leora. Might sell this part, keep the roof from caving. His voice betrays the lie of stability. Retirement's left him scraping by the farmhouse, a mirror of his fractured family. Leora sets the pie down her scarf, brushing the bills. Sigrid's wedding's big news, she says, eyes steady. You gonna stay quiet? The words land like a stone in still water rippling through Eldric's guarded heart. She doesn't need me, he thinks, the ache of not being enough clawing at him, a father who built swing sets, but not trust. He snaps. She doesn't need me, Leora. Never did. His voice cracks, betraying the hurt beneath his gruffness. The stove pops a spark flaring like his buried guilt. Leora's gaze softens, her own son's silence echoing in her mind. She knows that ache, the kind that festers in silence. The photo glints. Sigrid's smile fading in the dim light. Can Eldric face her rejection, or will he keep polishing ghosts? The Montana farmhouse kitchen hums with tension at 8:30 p.m., Thanksgiving 2025. Frost clings to the windows, a brittle shield against the howling wind outside. The wood stove crackles its warmth, barely reaching Eldric Vaughn 58, as he slumps at the table, the swing set photo of Sigrid, age 5, glinting under a flickering lamp. The football radio drones a distant cheer, swallowed by the creak of the old swing set, swaying in the gale. Eldric's smartphone buzzes its screen, flashing a wedding app that crashes again, the error message taunting his clumsy fingers. Damn thing, he mutters, shoving it aside, the weight of Leora's words. You gonna stay quiet, still burning in his chest. Leora's gone back to her place, but her pie sits untouched, its cinnamon scent clashing with the oil on Eldric's hands from tinkering with tractor parts. The laptop, a hand-me-down from Torrin, sits open its login page for Sigrid's wedding clip, glowing like a dare. Eldric's heart thuds, hope wrestling with the fear of being unworthy. What if she's moved on without me? His thumb grazes the phone. Sigrid's auto-reply from earlier, busy with wedding, a cold jab, no warmth, just a wall of tech he can't breach. Leora's voice echoes in his mind, her knowing look a mirror to his own dread. She sees a father teetering on the edge of trying. He switches to the laptop, fingers trembling as he types the password from Torrin's text. The screen flickers, loading Sigrid's recorded wedding clip. There she is, 32, radiant in white, her smile tight under a veil. Eldric leans closer, breath shallow until the camera pans to Torrin in the front row, laughing, his artist's hands clapping. Why him, not me, Eldric, whispers, voice raw, the sting of being sidelined slicing deep. The app crashes on his phone again, a mocking buzz as if the world's conspiring to keep him out. The swing set creaks louder outside, a ghost of Sigrid's laughter haunting him. I built that for her, he thinks. But the memory sours. Did he push her away even then? The stove pops, embers flaring like his faltering hope. Leora's absence looms, her unspoken thought lingering. She'd tell him to keep going, but he's got to choose. The clip buffers Torrin's face, frozen on screen. Why is he the one Sigrid chose to be there? The Montana farmhouse kitchen pulses with a brittle heat at 10:00 p.m. Thanksgiving 2025. The wood stove crackles its embers, throwing jagged shadows across the peeling wallpaper. A clock ticks relentlessly, marking time. Eldric Vaughn, 58, wishes he could claw back. The laptop on the table streams Sigrid's recorded wedding clip now at the vows. Her voice faint but steady. Frost webs the windows, muting the distant hum of a neighbor's tractor, a reminder of the ranching life Eldric's barely holding on to. Repair bills tucked under the swing set photo flutter as the wind seeps through cracks. Leora Crane sits across from him, sipping coffee, her scarf draped over a chair. Her eyes steady but kind track Eldric's tightening jaw. She sees a man unraveling his pain as raw as her own when her son stopped calling. Eldric's hands grip the table knuckles, white as the clip pans to Torrin 28 in the front row. The officiant's voice booms Torrin Sigrid's rock thank you for being her strength. Eldric's breath hitches a wound reopening. Her rock. The words sear, erasing him. The father who worked overtime, who built her that swing set. He slams the laptop shut, the click echoing like a gunshot. They erased me, he roars, kicking a chair. It scrapes sharply across the floor, toppling with a thud that startles Leora, her coffee sloshing. The radio, still droning football highlights, feels like a mockery of his fractured family. Eldric's chest heaves, anger masking the hurt of being sidelined, a father reduced to a spectator in his daughter's life. Leora sets her mug down, the clink deliberate. "Maybe it's what you didn't say to her, Eldric," she says, her voice soft but piercing, cutting through his rage. She knows this crossroads words left unsaid that cost her a son. Eldric's eyes flash, but her words land stirring the guilt he's buried under years of tractor grease and solitude. "What didn't I say?" The thought chokes him, the swing set photo glinting like an accusation. He storms outside, boots crunching into light snow flurries, the cold biting his face like the truth he's dodging. The swing set creaks in the wind, a ghost of Sigrid's laughter. Leora watches him go, her thought heavy. She sees his anger hide a father's love. But will he speak it? The stove pops, embers fading. The chair lies toppled, bills scattered. What words has Eldric left unsaid, and can he find them before it's too late? Snow flurries swirl outside Eldric's Montana farmhouse at 10:15 p.m. Thanksgiving 2025, dusting the old swing set that sways with a mournful creak. The night air bites sharp as the ache in Eldric Vaughn's chest as he stands by the rusted chains, his breath clouding in the cold. The farmhouse glows faintly behind him, its frost-laced windows framing the chaos he. Left toppled chair, scattered repair bills, the laptop's accusing silence. Leora Crane follows her boots, crunching snow scarf, fluttering like a flag of quiet resolve. "My son hasn't called in years," she says. Voice low, her own pain, a bridge to his. She sees Eldric's shoulders ding, a man teetering between fight and surrender, just as she once did. Eldric's phone buzzes in his pocket, a text from Sigrid flashing. "Wish you'd been here, Dad." The words jolt him a spark in the dark, but they sting too late, too vague. Why now? His fingers tremble, the cold seeping into his bones, mirroring the chill of years lost to silence. Leora pulls an unopened letter from her coat, Sigrid's handwriting faint on the envelope. "Found it in your mailbox months ago," she says, holding it out. "Read it, Eldric." The paper feels heavy snow clinging to its edges like tears. Eldric hesitates, the swing set creaking a ghost of Sigrid's laughter when he pushed her higher before he chose Torin's dreams over hers. He tears it open, the crinkle loud against the wind. Sigrid's words spill out her engagement, her hope he'd walk her down the aisle, her fear he'd say no. "I needed you, Dad," she wrote, "but you were always with Torin." Eldric's throat tightens, hope flickering like the farmhouse light. The letter ends. "I wish you'd fought for me." His voice cracks, barely a whisper. "Maybe I still can." Leora's eyes soften her own letter to her son, unwritten but stirring. She knows that ache, the chance to mend what's broken. The snow thickens, the swing set's creak fading. Eldric clutches the letter, Sigrid's text glowing on his phone. The farmhouse looms, repair bills, waiting a life he's barely holding together. Can he fight for Sigrid now, or will the cold bury this spark of hope? The Montana farmhouse kitchen is a dim haven at 11:00 p.m. Thanksgiving 2025. The wood stoves crackle, barely holding back the chill seeping through cracked walls. Snow flurries tap the windows, a restless rhythm matching Eldric Vaughn's pacing. The swing set photo lies abandoned on the table, Sigrid's letter beside it. Its words, "I wish you'd fought for me," burning in his chest. The laptop sits closed, a silent rebuke, while repair bills flutter under a draft. Leora Crane brews tea, her movements deliberate steam curling like hope she's guarding. She sees Eldric's hands shake, a father caught between rage and ruin her own son's silence, a shadow in her heart. Eldric's phone buzzes, a social media post about Sigrid's wedding, flashing smiling guests, but he swipes it away, the glow stinging his eyes. "She didn't want me there." The thought chokes him, Sigrid's text. "Wish you'd been here now," feeling like a cruel tease. He grabs the phone dials. Torin voice rough. "Why are you at her wedding and I'm not?" Torin's voice crackles hesitant. "Dad, I sent the link." Eldric freezes, the stove popping like a warning. "Sigrid didn't want you invited. Torin admits, words tumbling out. I thought the clip would help ease my guilt for everything. The truth lands like a blow. Torin, the favored son, sent the link to salve his shame, not Sigrid's choice. Eldric's grip tightens the letter, slipping to the floor, its pages crumpling. A flashback flickers. Torin, 13, beaming, as Eldric hung his drawings while Sigrid, 17, clutched her report card unseen. I did this, Eldric thinks, guilt clawing deeper. She thinks you never loved her, Dad, Torin says, voice breaking. The swing set creaks outside, a ghost of Sigrid's childhood, its sound slicing through the call's static. Lyora sets the teapot down, the clink sharp. Her eyes meet Eldric's, steady but heavy. She sees him break, but not shatter. The kettle whistles steam, clouding the air. Eldric drops the phone. Torin's voice cutting off. The letter lies at his feet, Sigrid's words now a question he can't answer. Why does she believe he never loved her, and what did he do to make her feel so alone? The Montana farmhouse kitchen is cloaked in shadow at 1 a.m. Thanksgiving, 2025. The wood stove's embers fading to a dull glow. A clock ticks each second, a hammer on Eldric Vaughn's fraying nerves. Snow flurries patter the windows, muffling the faint laughter from a neighbor's late Thanksgiving potluck, a world apart from this crumbling sanctuary. Sigrid's letter lies crumpled on the floor, its words, I wish you'd fought for me, a blade in Eldric's heart. The swing-set photo knocked askew glints under a flickering lamp, Sigrid's 5-year-old smile accusing him. Repair bills, scattered by his earlier rage, litter the table, a reminder of the farmhouse and family he's failing to hold together. Lyora Crane sits quietly, her coffee-cold eyes tracing Eldric's restless pacing. She sees a father drowning in regret, his pain echoing her own when her son's calls stopped. Eldric snatches the photo, his voice splintering. I missed her whole life, Lyora. Her graduation's her first job. I wasn't there. His hands trembled, the frame's glass cool against his calloused fingers. Was I ever enough? The thought chokes him, regret surging like a flood, drowning the man who built swing sets but not trust. A text from Sigrid pings stark on his phone. You never saw me. The words gut him, each syllable a mirror to his failures. He collapses into a chair, head in hands, the creak of its worn wood louder than the stove's dying pops. The swing set sways outside its ghostly creak, seeping through the walls, a requiem for years he let slip away. Lyora's silence is a steady anchor, her presence a lifeline he's too broken to grasp. She knows this grief, the kind that carves hollows where love should be. You're still here, Eldric, she whispers, voice soft as snow. It's not over. Her words pierce the dark, a spark in his despair. Eldric's eyes flicker resolve, battling shame, but he shakes his head unconvinced. What's left to fight for? The radio, forgotten, hums a faint Thanksgiving hymn, its melody clashing with his anguish. Lyora's thought lingers unspoken. She sees his heart splinter, yet it still beats. The lamp sputters, casting Sigrid's photo in half-light. The letter curls at his feet. Torin's confession, she thinks you never loved her, echoing. Can Eldric find a way to reach Sigrid, or will regret bury him in this lonely farmhouse? The Montana farmhouse kitchen is a cold husk at 3 a.m. Thanksgiving, 2025, the wood stove nearly dead. Its faint crackle swallowed by the wind howling outside. Snow piles against the windows, sealing Eldric Vaughn, 58, in a tomb of his own making. A single lamp flickers, casting jagged light over Mara's locket, its worn clasp glinting on the table beside scattered repair bills. The swing set photo lies forgotten, Sigrid's childhood smile eclipsed by the locket's weight. Eldric clutches it, his calloused fingers tracing the engraved initials MV, as if he could summon his late wife back to explain. Lyora Crane dozes in a chair, her scarf slipping, but stirs, murmuring, "My son stopped calling after I pushed him too hard." Her voice, heavy with her own ghosts, pulls Eldric into the past. She sees a man wrestling with truths he's not ready to face, her own regrets a mirror to his. The locket's cool metal grounds him, but his mind slips to a flashback 15 years ago, a sunlit yard where he hammered the swing set together. Sigrid 5 giggling as she swung. Later, he pinned Torrens' drawings to the fridge, praising his son's colors, while Sigrid 9 clutched her report card, her A's unseen. She was fine, he'd thought, but the memory sours, now guilt twisting like the wind outside. Back in the present, Eldric's thumb flicks the locket open, revealing a folded note in Mara's handwriting. Protect Sigrid from his pressure. The paper crinkles brittle as his hope. His breath catches the words, a betrayal he never saw coming. Mara did this. Lyora leans forward, her eyes meeting his. Mara told me once, she says, voice low, you pushed Sigrid too hard to be perfect. She wanted to give her space. The revelation stings Mara's love for Sigrid, reshaping Eldric's failures. The swing set creaks outside, a faint echo of that sunlit day now tainted. Eldric's grip tightens on the locket, its chain biting his palm. Why didn't she tell me Leora's story of her son weaves through his thoughts? She knows secrets cut deeper than silence. The lamp dims the farmhouse, groaning under snow. The note trembles in Eldric's hand, repair bills, a reminder of all he's losing. What was Mara protecting Sigrid from, and how did it break them apart? The Montana farmhouse kitchen clings to a fragile dawn at 5:00 a.m. Thanksgiving, 2025. As sunrise bleeds through snow-dusted windows, painting the room in pale gold. The wood stove is cold, its silence heavy, broken only by the wind's low moan outside. Eldric Vaughn, 58, sits rigid at the table. Mara's locket open in his palm, her note. Protect Sigrid from his pressure, a wound that won't close. Repair bills lie scattered, a testament to the farmhouse's decay, mirroring his fractured family. Lyora Crane stands by the stove, her scarf loose, eyes fixed on Eldric's trembling hands. She sees a man teetering on truth's edge, his pain echoing her own when she lost her son to silence. A social media post buzzes on Eldric's phone, a wedding guest's comment. Where's her dad? The words sting, a public jab at his absence, deepening his isolation. Leora's voice breaks the quiet, steady but weighted. Mara told me years ago, she says you pushed Sigrid to be perfect straight-A's scholarships. She thought Torren needed you more, so she built him up to give Sigrid space. The revelation lands like a stone twist number 2, unraveling Eldric's world. Mara, his late wife, orchestrated the favoritism, not him, her love for Sigrid, a misguided shield that broke them apart. Eldric's face hardens, betrayal warring with guilt. She broke us to save her, he chokes, voice raw. A flashback flickers Mara smiling, hanging Torren's drawings while Sigrid watched unnoticed. She planned this. Eldric realizes his overtime shifts for Torren's art supplies, now a hollow sacrifice Sigrid never saw. I worked overtime for their dreams, he snaps, slamming the locket shut, its clink sharp. Lyora steps closer, her gaze unflinching. Did Sigrid ever know what you gave up? She asks, her words cutting to the bone, unearthing the unacknowledged sacrifice that defines him. The question hangs heavy as the snow outside. Lyora's thought lingers. She sees his anger hide a father's love buried under years of silence. The swing set creaks faintly, a ghost of Sigrid's childhood, its sound drowned by the buzz of another wedding post. The farmhouse groans, dawn's light exposing its cracks. Eldric's hands shake the locket, a cold truth. Did his unseen sacrifices cause the rift, or was Mara's plan the fracture that tore Sigrid away? Snow flurries thicken outside Eldric's Montana farmhouse at 7:00 a.m. Thanksgiving 2025, cloaking the golden fields in a restless white. Inside the kitchen is a battleground of dawn's harsh light, slicing through frost-webbed windows to glint off Mara's locket on the table. The laptop reopens streams Sigrid's recorded wedding clip. Its image glitching, Sigrid's tense smile flickers, then a brief flash of her arguing with her groom, voices muffled but sharp. Repair bills piled high threaten to spill a mirror of the farmhouse's decay and Eldric's crumbling resolve. Lyora Crane stokes the wood stove, its crackle a faint pulse against the cold. She sees Eldric 58 gripping his phone, his weathered face etched with desperation, a father on the edge of a fight he's long avoided. Her own letter to her estranged son waits unwritten in her mind. Eldric dials Sigrid voice. Rough. I saw the clip, Sigrid. Why shut me out? The call connects her voice sharp, cutting through static. You chose Torin every time, Dad. The accusation stabs, but then twist number 4 lands. This wedding. It's not love. It's me running from this family's mess. Her confession, rushed nuptials to escape pain, mirrors Eldric's own avoidance, a gut punch of shared failure. Snow stings his thoughts, the glitchy clip looping Sigrid's argument, unraveling her day, as his heart unravels now. I did this to her. Leora's eyes meet his, steady but heavy. She sees a father fighting through the storm. But will it be enough? Sigrid hangs up the silence, deafening. Eldric's hands shake, but he grabs a pen, words spilling onto paper. I failed you, but I'm here now. The stove pops embers, flaring like his resolve. He pulls on his coat boots, crunching as he braves the snow to the mailbox, slipping on ice, his knee hitting the frozen ground. Pain shoots through him, but he rises letter, clutched tight, the cold biting his cheeks like regret. The mailbox clanks shut, a defiant act against the storm. The clip buffers on the laptop, Sigrid's face, frozen in distress. A Thanksgiving parade hums faintly on the radio, its cheer a cruel contrast. Leora stokes the fire, her thought lingering. She knows this letter might not heal, but it's his heart laid bare. The snow buries the farmhouse bills looming. What will Eldric's letter reveal, and will Sigrid see the father he's trying to be? Morning light pierces the snow clouds at 9:00 a.m., Thanksgiving, 2025, bathing. Eldric's Montana farmhouse kitchen in a fragile glow. The wood stove crackles its warmth, battling the chill seeping through cracked walls. Mara's locket rests on the table, its chain glinting beside a pile of repair bills, a silent testament to a life unraveling. Eldric Vaughn, 58, sits hunched, pen scratching across paper, his letter to Sigrid, a lifeline inked with trembling hands. The laptop's wedding clip is paused. Sigrid's wistful face frozen mid-vow. Leora Crane reads quietly in a corner, her own letter to her estranged son, half-written, her presence a steady anchor. She sees Eldric's eyes raw with unshed tears, a father peeling back years of mistakes. A voice note pings on Eldric's phone. Sigrid's voice slicing through the quiet. You left me, Dad, when I needed you most. The words gut him, her pain raw, a daughter's cry he never heard. A flashback flares 10 years ago after Mara's death. Eldric at the kitchen table, grief-heavy, telling Sigrid, 22, You're strong, you don't need me. Her face fell, but he turned away, hiding his own shattering heart. Back in the present. Twist number 3 hits like a Montana wind. Eldric pushed Sigrid away, not just through favoritism, but to shield her from his grief, a choice that broke her trust. I hurt her to save myself. His pen falters, ink smudging as realization dawns. He writes, I was weak, not you, tears blurring the page. Each word a confession of the hurt he caused his daughter. The locket's weight presses into his thoughts. Mara's love, a flawed shield he misunderstood. Leora's gaze lifts her own regrets stirring. She knows this pain, the cost of pushing love away. The stove pops embers, flaring like Eldric's guilt. The flashback lingers, Sigrid's quiet sobs as she left for college. Eldric too broken to follow. Now he seals the letter, hands trembling, whispering, I'm sorry, Sigrid. The act is a knife cutting free the father he failed to be. Snow dusts the windows, the farmhouse groaning under its weight. The radio hums a faint Thanksgiving ad, its cheer distant. Eldric's tears fall, the letter his last chance. Leora's thought echoes. She sees a father owning his ghosts. But will Sigrid see it too? Will she read his words, or has his absence carved too deep a wound? Sunlight breaks through snow clouds at 11:00 a.m. Thanksgiving 2025, gilding the Montana farmhouse kitchen with a tender glow. The wood stove crackles its warmth, softening the room's worn edges. Mara's locket and the swing-set photo rest on the mantel, their glint a quiet promise of healing. Repair bills, now neatly stacked, hint at Eldric Vaughn's plan to sell a tractor to save the farmhouse, a place he's starting to see as home, not just solitude. The laptop sits open, Sigrid's wedding clip paused on her wistful face, no longer a wound, but a bridge. Leora Crane stands on the porch, clutching her own letter to her estranged son, her smile a mirror to Eldric's cautious hope. A Thanksgiving hymn hums softly on the radio, its melody weaving through the morning stillness. She sees Eldric 58 at the rural mailbox, snow-dusted his boots, crunching in a deliberate echo of his hesitation 10 hours ago. Eldric slides the letter into the mailbox, its clank a defiant act, a father's heart laid bare. Snow clings to his coat, the cold no match for the warmth of his choice. Back inside, he restarts the clip, Sigrid's eyes flickering with something like regret, not joy. A text pings. "Got your letter, Dad. Let's talk soon." The words, simple but seismic, crack his guarded heart open. He exhales a shuddering breath and places the locket beside the photo, whispering, "I'm still your dad." The farmhouse feels different now, its creaks a song of endurance, not decay. Lyora steps inside, her voiceover soft, a female thread tying the story closed. She knows a letter might not mend everything, but it's a start, a spark in the snow. The swing set outside is still snow blanketing its chains, no longer a ghost but a memory Eldric can carry forward. He glances at the bills, resolve firming, he'll fix the roof just as he's begun to fix himself. The radio hymn swells a note of grace for a man finding purpose in solitude. Leora's smile widens her own letter, a vow to try again. The farmhouse stands firm sunlight pooling on the floor, a sanctuary reclaimed. Eldric's thought lingers. This old place, it's where I'll wait for her. Ever written a letter to mend a family rift? Leora's voiceover asks a call to the audience. Share below. The screen fades, snow falling gently, hope rising like dawn. As sunlight bathes the Montana farmhouse, Leora's voice whispers over the fading hymn. Eldric's letter sealed with hope is a step toward mending what time broke. In life, a single act of courage, like a letter mailed through snow, can rebuild bridges, reminding us that love, when spoken, finds its way home. For every family rift, there's a chance to start again if we dare to listen and forgive. Have you ever reached out to heal a bond? Lyora's voice asks softly. Share your story below, and let's keep this warmth alive.